if nobody told you as of yet today, I love you. If nobody told you as of yet today, I am proud of you. You're going to continue to achieve anything you set out to do. You understand me? Also, chosen ones, you already know. I do have to give you that brief disclaimer. So I only want you to take what resonates and I want you to leave the rest behind. I don't want you trying to force certain scenarios for you. If you don't happen to get your confirmation through me, I guarantee you won't get it through somebody else, all right? So be patient with your process. Also, as you already know, my voice is too raspy to be whispering. And at this point in time, my allergies was acting up. So it damn sure is raspy now, all right? So my voice is too raspy to be whispering. So this is about the time that you probably want to go ahead and hit that volume, okay? Now, before we get started, as always, I want to thank you so much in advance for all your love, like, share, subscribes, your gifts, kind words, not only to myself, but each other too. Because I don't always get the pause in the middle of my message to relay or say that to you. So I appreciate you. Also, for everyone who sent the congratulations, extended love, and light in my direction, I truly do appreciate you, right? Also, chosen ones, I am going to say this because I had certain individuals reach out to me that are expecting as well and were asking for certain advice. So I definitely will respond to those individuals as far as on here, right? Now, I'll start off by relaying the message to them, and then I'm going to get into the overall message of as far as the group, okay? Now, in reference to the individuals who are currently expecting and did reach out to me because things are not going according to plan. Now, when I say not going according to plan, it was your plan. How you felt things should be flowing at this point in time, right? So this is in regards to the partner that you are expecting by, right? Listen. It is perfectly okay. Some of you chosen ones have to realize that the person that you conceived with, right? Sometimes they don't always realize the blessing that is getting presented to them. You understand? You also have to realize that when you're close to somebody, they're going to feel the fluctuation of feelings that you feel as well. So the same way that initially you could have been shocked, you could have been surprised, you could have been doubtful that everything was going to be all right. You didn't know how you was going to get through what the great news that got presented to you. That partner may be feeling a fluctuation of feelings as well. Right? Also, chosen ones, you have to realize that if for some reason that person chooses not to step up, that's something that they're missing out on, okay? So I don't want you to regret as far as your pregnancy. I don't want you to feel like it was a mistake because God don't make no mistakes. See, you have to realize at that point in time, God needed that baby to come through. Some of you are carrying ancestors through you. You understand me? So everything is in divine alignment. Everything is in divine timing. Now, does that mean that everybody who is conceiving is carrying as far as a beautiful legacy? Absolutely not. There are certain demonic individuals that did magic to get pregnant, did certain ill intentions to get pregnant, had ill intentions as far as the reason behind them faking pregnancies and all of that. This is not you. I'm talking about in regards to the divine individuals, right? So with that being said, sometimes God needs you to have certain babies come through because it's bigger than you. You're carrying as far as certain lineages within you. You understand me? So I want you to realize the same way that God needed Mary to carry Jesus for him. There's some of you chosen ones where you haven't met your Joseph yet. You understand? And what do I mean by that? See, if you're unfamiliar, Mary was with Joseph, correct? They was married, right? Now, at that point in time, God needed Mary to bring Jesus through her, right? See, Joseph had nothing to do or was not technically or biologic, you know what I'm saying? His father, but he stepped up and played that position. That's almost similar to as far as, what's his name? Russell Wilson did Ciara and Baby Future, right? Some of you chosen ones, the person that helps bring the baby through may not be the person that you end up being with. So I want you to realize that doesn't mean that that's bad. That doesn't mean that you should be sad. That means that you should realize that God selected you, that regardless of who you had that baby with, that baby was going to come through. You understand me? That was necessary. So I want you to realize that, one, certain people have to have time to adjust. Some people have to really come to terms with the fact that they have a blessing that's getting presented to them. Some of you have children, multiple children by the person, and every time you end up pregnant, they start acting distant, they start acting crazy, but they're not realizing that each time that you conceived, you was blessing them from certain paths that were trying to deceive them. That every time that you end up conceiving, it kept them from going down a path that they was going to go to through, as far as certain sirens, certain things that was going to stop them. They don't see that now. They just see you actually keeping them from doing things that they want to do. So think about this. You could have said, this is equivalent to certain people that's like, hey, your intuition was telling you, nah, you don't need to go to that show. Nah, you don't need to go to that party. No, you don't need to go out with your friends. This could be pertaining to your partner, or this could be pertaining to your friends, your children, whatever the case may be. At that time, that person doesn't want to hear those things. They had it set in their mind that they was going to have a good time. They had it set in their mind that these are the things that they wanted to have done. But because you stepped up, because you end up preventing them from going in that direction, they could take out their frustration on you, not realizing that God sent you in to help assist or save that individual. Now, this isn't just pertaining to pregnancies, baby. This is as far as your position. There's certain people that's going to be mad because of the way that you are guiding them, certain things that you prevented from happening. At that time, they just felt like you was ruining their good time. At that time, they couldn't see certain things because energetically they were blind. They felt like you was just ruining, or you was trying to have control, or you was trying to dictate certain things and how things were going to go, not realizing that God sent you in order to save that individual. And I'll explain. This is almost like chosen ones say that you ready to go chill. You ready to go out and have a good time with your friends, or you want to go meet up with a certain person, right? And your child all of a sudden starts crying. Your child all of a sudden starts wailing, and the babysitter says that you can't leave unless they are taken care of, right? Unless that child is happy, unless that child. So there's certain things where you could have been mad because you wanted to have fun. You wanted to go out in a sense, and that child, because they were crying, because they were wilding, because they didn't want you to go, you end up not going, not realizing it saved you. There's some of you chosen ones, it could have been as simple as you was trying to be on your grown and sexy time. You was in your room. You thought that you was about to mess around. Then all of a sudden you keep having all of these interruptions. See, in that time period, you mad because you was focused on the things that you wanted to handle in a sense. You was focused on the task that you wanted, not realizing what if those interruptions was saving you from getting something. See, what if you was about to take it there with that person, and all of those interruptions kept you from taking it there with that person, and then later on you find out that that person has something that you would have came in contact with that you wouldn't have been able to get rid of in a sense, right? This is as far as certain marriages where you could have planned, or they could have planned, oh, well, I'm about to be with this person, but it was for the wrong reasons. They wanted to be with that person because that person could have seemed like they was financially stable for them. That person could have felt like they was doing everything for them. They could have felt like that person was superior to you because they was letting them do what they wanted to do, not realizing that was a siren energy that was leading them to their demise. That yes, they were giving them everything that they wanted at that time, but it was going to lead to their demise. That siren was singing that song in order to go pull them in. That had they actually went in that direction again, they would have met their ending. So you have to realize, chosen ones, that sometimes interruptions that you have, sometimes your plan B, C, and D has always been God's plan A. Some of you chosen ones, again, people are mad at you because you're the person that God sends in to be that interruption. And it's not that your intentions, you just doing what God asked you. You didn't. So again, This could be pertaining to pregnancy. People could be mad that you're pregnant right now, but it's a blessing. People could be mad that you're carrying on a child and they felt like they was about to wild the fuck out. They thought they was about to go in a whole direction, but had they gotten to that direction, they would have met their death. They would have met their ending. They would have met as far as certain blockages. You understand me? Whereas you're bringing in a new beginning. So when I say everything is not what it appears to be, but do not allow certain people to throw fits and have an attitude with the fact that you divine in a sense, the fact that God told you to show up at that time, the fact that every time it's a repeated cycle, that every time they're about to make the wrong decision, God has you step in, you play your position. They may not understand it now, but they will in the end. You understand me? So with that, now this ain't meaning go try to intentionally trap somebody, because there's certain people right now that are lying about pregnancies and they ain't pregnant. There's certain people right now, they just want that person's attention. They just want to misguide them. They just want to mislead them. They just want to get them off their path. So with me saying this, there's some of you that are currently expectant, or there's some of you that currently have somebody's children, or whatever the case may be, and that person could be acting shady towards you at that time. Do not allow that to have you step out of your light. You keep going in that direction that you're supposed to be headed in. You understand me? Now, with that being said, there's some of you that you're getting called to be mindful, because everything is not what it appears to be. That person can say that they pregnant, but their intentions is to deceive you. This is for them to get your attention to walk away from other people. There's certain people that's lying, whereas there's somebody else that's telling the truth, but it's up to them to be able to use the discernment and see what side of the cycle that you are, right? So there's some people, I want you to be mindful, because they're going to fake pregnancy tests. There's certain people where you could Google right now, there's fake ass tests that they're going to act like they pregnant with. Excuse me. There's certain people that's going to fake pregnancies so that you put yourself in a position to potentially get them pregnant. Do not fall victim of that hype. You understand me? So when I say you step in your energy, it's not for you to try to plead with certain people to see that God is sending you to help them while other people are deceiving. This is not for you to sit there and beg people or so on and so forth. No, in due time, everything's going to come to light. You just sticking to your path. Now, with this being said, it's not just pertaining to pregnancies, but I had to relay the message at hand, right? So there's some of you, be mindful, because there's certain tricksters that's trying to have you, they're saying that they pregnant currently so that they can have sex with you, so that you're not using protection, so you end up getting them pregnant, and now you're bound to that cycle. There's some people that's just trying to deter you, give you everything that you want, knowing that these are the things that God is telling you to go without. So there's certain people that have sex addictions, and the siren energy that's connected to them, the Jezebel spirit that's connected to them, that they encounter, are going to tell them, oh yeah, let's have threesomes. Oh yeah, let's mess around with this. Oh yeah, they're going to encourage that sexual deviant in a sense, right? Not because they want what's best for them, but they know that they're leading them to their demise. This is something that God is telling you to cut out on. So why would you end up going with somebody who is guiding you to it? You understand? There's some of you that God is guiding you to stop prioritizing money over people. But that siren energy is going to come in. They're going to sing a certain song. They're going to sit there and tell you or offer you money so that you follow them, right? There's certain people that's going to give you things that God is telling that you can't have, and he's telling you can't have it because it's to your benefit. So this would be equivalent to a parent telling a kid, no, you can't have candy. And that child being mad because they can't have candy, but the whole time the mother's looking out for them like, yo, you could break your tooth. You could chip your tooth. You can get a cavity. I'm trying to protect you. That person who has diabetes is going to get mad that somebody's telling them that they can't have something sweet in a sense, but the whole time it's protecting them. It's saving them from their demise. It's saving them from certain worse problems that are going to arrive, but they don't see that at that time. They see you as the problem. They see you as the person that's stopping them from getting the things that they're wanting. So sometimes chosen ones, you're going to have to stand silent. You're going to seem like the op to everybody. You're going to seem like you're trying to stop them from getting things that they want. They're going to make it seem like you're the worst person, when really in due time they're going to see what you was doing for them. You understand me? So with that being said, You stand in your power. Don't allow certain people not accepting you to have you change your path. You stand solid. It takes somebody to, this would be equivalent to those people back in the day where you're like, dang, your parents let you do anything. Oh, you can stay out late. You can date. You can have your partner over and all of this shit. At that time, you mad because your mother or father could have been more strict. Your mother or father could have told you that you couldn't do certain things like this, right? And at that time, you were making it seem like your parent was the worst person in the world. But as you grew up, as you started to notice certain things, as certain experiences started happening, you realized like, damn, that parent saved you from a lot of problems. That person who had everything that they wanted ended up being an F up. That person who got everything that they needed, their main thing that they're saying is that they wish they had a partner or a person or a parent that was on them like you and like yours was, that actually had certain rules. So you even seen some of those shows where they're like, okay, they're going to do a little test where they're going to have the person get everything that they want in a sense. And now the person who said they wanted these things, got the things that they wanted, they realized they didn't even want them. Why am I mentioning this? Because there's certain people that treated you like shit. There's certain people that did some evil things. There's certain people that lied on you, lied to you, deceived you, cheated on you, whatever the case may be, chose other people over you. They sat there, chosen ones. When I say they didn't see what was in front of them, they just seen you as an issue, because you have to realize, chosen ones, you're somebody who sees the future. You're somebody who has a sense of discernment. God trusted you with a certain gift that you could see in the future how certain things is going to benefit them. So you were almost molding them, not to control them, but you were leading them to the path that they were supposed to be in. They didn't even know these things about themselves. This is almost like growing up. Nobody wants to think about, getting your credit up, because at that time they have no intentions on buying a house, buying a car, buying these things. But you could be telling them, hey, you need to be focused on this. You need to be paying this on time. You need to be doing that on time. But at that time, it's not registering to them that further down the line, there's certain things that they're going to want, right? As far as partners, there's certain partners that chose people over you because they had more finances than you. They chose those people over you because that person allowed them to do what they wanted to do. But the whole time, chosen ones, that same person who had more monetary gain than you at that time, that same person who seemed like they were superior to you at that time because they was giving that person what they want. Now they're starting to realize that that person was a setup in a sense, that that person was stopping their progression, that they was causing certain issues to them, right? So I want you to realize now that they've received, sometimes God calls you to say the things that you say, stand your ground, keep that boundary up. Don't allow them to knock that down. When I say boundary, I don't mean have your wall up where nobody can come in, but when God tells you to stand solid in that position, it ain't no budging. When God said, no, you're not going to let that person keep cheating on you, you let them know it's either you and nobody else, or they going to get dismissed. Okay? You got to stand solid. No matter how much you love that person, you not no option. They going to have to get their shit together, correct? See, you standing in that boundary where now you're not going to get shook. You're not going to get moved. You're not going to get broke. You're not going to get bent. You might get a little bruised, but you're not going to break, right? See, chosen ones, you standing in that boundary, right? You standing firm in that power. They're going to have to adjust. They may feel like, again, at that time that they getting everything they want. You allow them to do what they do, but they can't do that shit while they with you, so you cut their ass off. See, ultimatums. And some people, again, you don't force it. You enforce it, and if they choose not to, then you go ahead and do you. And this comes down to, again, how I said earlier pertaining to pregnancies. If that person don't step up and play a position, baby, do you think that somebody else will not? Do you think if God said you're going to have a happily family, where you're going to be married, that you're going to have that house, that you're going to have that car, just because so-and-so chooses not to step up and play that position and gets to enjoy themselves and gets to enjoy the things that are coming into fruition, doesn't mean that your ass got to sit it out. That means you keep going, because somebody else is going to get presented, and now God's going to have you be able to take that route. So when I tell you That chosen ones, as far as, and excuse me sniffling and snotting because my allergies, baby, and this pregnancy, they're heightening that shit, right? But with that being said, I will say this, chosen ones, you stand silent. Let them get what they wanted, right? Okay, you say you wanted to do you wanted to talk to more individuals, you say you wanted to be single, but you won't do that shit near me. See, with that being said, that don't mean that you're going to go talk to every time Dick and Harry. Absolutely not. That means you're going to wait because you know God's about to have somebody else align. See, what they won't do, somebody else is praying to get in that position. And when you guys get aligned and they get presented, then that's what's going to happen. You understand me? So again, chosen ones, don't feel like it's the end of the world because that person decides not to be a part of something great. And that's not just pregnancy. That's as far as your business too. There's some of you, God told you that you're going to be successful, that your business was going to boom. God told you that as far as certain abundance was going to come through. That person didn't believe it. Why? Because they ain't see it, but they didn't have the glasses. They wasn't equipped to. See, some people, God don't show them everything. See, some people, God doesn't let them know everything. Excuse me. He lets you know though, right? So with that being said, as far as you keep going on your path, you keep aligning in your path because things are coming into fruition. This is like a party. God is throwing you a party. Are you going to let that person who's pouting, talking about, oh, they don't want to go, oh, nah, they not going to show up, and you not going to be a no... You're not going to be a no-show to your celebrations because that person is upset, because that person is pouting. You keep your ass walking, and I bet they going to get their ass up then, right? So again, I'll give this an example as far as a child throwing themselves on the ground. They pouting. They kicking and screaming. Now, luckily, my children never did that shit, but some of them, we done seen some motherfuckers that did that shit, right? So, with that being said, you just walk your ass on. They gonna get themselves up when you're not giving too much attention to them. You get that solid voice on like, I ain't playing with you. Get your ass up. They choose to still stand there and scream and kick. I'm not about to be stressed out for this shit. I'm not about to be out here begging you to get your ass up off that ground so you ain't scuffing yourself up in a sense. Absolutely not. I'm going to keep on walking a little bit. I'm going to look to make sure you're not too far behind, but I'm going to keep walking and I bet your ass going to get yourself up and get yourself together in due time, right? So some of these people, chosen ones that you're aligned with, they pouting. Oh, because you telling them to do something, they don't want to do it. But let somebody else tell them that they going to do it. Have you ever noticed, right? See, when I say this, chosen ones, you end up getting what you want. And I say this because there's some people that you asked them to play a certain position. You told them to step up and play a position for their children. Be around. You said, because you said that and because it was coming from you, they didn't like that. Because that's almost like, why are you telling me what to do? Okay. All right. That's cool. So they sitting there don't want to do those things because you're asking or you're requesting or requiring them to. But then all of a sudden, they sit there and go with somebody else and they starting to realize in due time, they still going to have to do that shit that you was asking them to, right? So this is almost like you telling somebody to clean up your room. Now, I could say this when I was younger, you know how it's easier or you feel more happier to clean somebody else's shit when your house is dirty and you need to clean your own. This is like somebody owning the cleaning business and their house looking crazy, but they have the ability to clean somebody else's real good, right? So this is some people, they act like they pout because it's they shit that they have to do. So they out here playing the loving parent to somebody else's children when they had the ability to do it for their crew, but they chose not to. Why? Because of who asked them to. Because they felt like they was forced to, but they end up doing the same thing that they were supposed to for another individual, and that lineage is not saved. Your legacy is not paved. Why? Because you didn't do it for your own. So no matter how many good deeds that you do, if you're not doing it for your own crew, then that shit don't count. So this is almost like you doing extra credit or you working overtime and you done stayed as far as 12 hours on the shift and you only getting paid for 5. That extra work that you put in don't mean shit because that was not yours to do. You wasn't on duty. You wasn't on schedule. That wasn't assigned to you. So yes, you done did all this work for other people, but that don't mean shit to your legacy or your crew because that wasn't your assignment. You understand? Now, of course, again, there's people who are going to step up and play a position where other people's didn't, but they're not going to step up and play a position for yours while they not doing for their own. And if you allow that shit, then you a foul ass person too, and you got karma and the same consequences that's about to come to that motherfucker based upon the choices that they do. There's some of you that are so it don't apply to you, so that's what it. No, and now you got karma. Now you wondering why you bitter. Why you wondering why you miserable? Why now you wondering why your finances is dwindling? Because you chose to select a person who ain't step up and play their position, so you better cut that shit out. You better see things how it is. There's certain people, again, they're so quick to be able to clean up other people's shit, but when it comes to theirs, they didn't. So therefore, chosen ones. Just know that life goes on. You are not here to beg. You're not here to say, I told you so. They gonna see in due time. This is not for you to keep giving people opportunity after opportunity to shit on you and you stay in one spot. Absolutely not. If they don't want to join the movement before it starts moving and they getting left. You understand? Some of these people don't realize that you are the ride that got presented. That before you met them, they didn't have a sense of direction. Yeah, they could have been partying. Yes, they could have been getting money, but they didn't have no purpose until you got presented. See, they didn't have no idea of what the future was going to hold. Yes, they was drinking every night. Yes, they was smoking every night. Yes, they could sex anybody that they like, but they didn't have no purpose. That was leading to their destruction. And then you came and you actually helped construct them. And they don't see that. You understand me? The same shit that you used to beg them for back in the day is the things that they doing now. And if you keep your eyes open, you actually going to see it. See, this is almost like equivalent to back in the day when you used to say, nah, you don't need to eat red meat. Oh, nah, you don't need to eat pork. Oh, nah, you need to meditate. They looked at you crazy when you sat there and was on based upon the time that you was on. You were saying positive things. At that time, they didn't want to hear that shit. They wanted to eat motherfucking Peppa Pig. They wanted out here partying and shit. They wanted to do all of these things, correct? But then all of a sudden, in due time, if you look at that person or if you come across that person, you're going to see that they end up doing all the things that you was asking. So before, you was out here telling them, nah, you shouldn't eat that. You don't need to eat that. But when you finally stepped back and was like, do what the fuck you want, now all of a sudden, naturally, they're starting to play their part. Naturally, now they eating healthy. Now they starting to exercise. Now they starting to cut certain foods out their life. And there's some parts of you that's going to be pissed off because it's like, motherfucker, I asked you that years ago and you made me feel like shit. When we was out here meditating, they act like we was crazier than a bitch. When we was out here grounding ourselves and telling them about spiritual warfare, they didn't want to hear that shit. They made it seem like we was crazy. See, they called Noah crazy too till that water came, correct? So some people, chosen ones, you gotta know that God shows you as far as the future. You see what's about to get presented. See, you could try to help them and spur them and save them from the things that's coming in. But if they choose not to listen in due time, they're gonna see that there was truth to the things that you were saying. So this is not for you to doubt you. This is not you to be mad because that person didn't follow your route in a sense. Shit, you was trying to save them. And some of these people don't want to get saved. Now, we didn't heard about this, right? We didn't heard this since, well, I can speak on behalf of myself. I didn't heard this since back in the day when Project Pat said, don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Some people, okay, well, they gonna see. You understand? But in due time, and again, excuse me for sniffling and snot and chosen ones because my allergies. I feel like that's so trifling, but I apologize, right? But I'll say this. You step out of it in due time. You didn't put them on, told them about how their family is stopping them, blocking them, sabotaging. You told them that their mother or father or sister or brother was using them for finances. And what did they say? They shit on you because they felt like you was telling them not to help their people because you wanted them to help you instead. Oh, you don't want me to help them with money because you must want the bread. The whole time, in due time, they start to see that you can only invest in one thing. You can't invest in multiple things. So just like you can watch, babysit multiple children, but really, reality is you can only pay attention to them one at a time. You can only give one your undivided attention. Now, you can monitor the group, but as far as if somebody's talking to you or the whole class starts talking to you, you can't respond to every one of them individually. You have to, as far as at the same time, you have to focus on the conversation individually. So there's some people, chosen ones, where they're not realizing that regardless, they're going to have to do what God told them to do, but it's who they choose to do it for. There's certain people that they're doing it for the wrong motherfucking people and for the wrong reasons. God said you gotta be a family man or a family woman. Okay, so the person that you truly was supposed to play that position to, you shitted on that individual. You made it so difficult for that person. You acted like you hated them. You didn't like them. Why? Because they triggered your demons. The whole time they was getting you out of your comfort zone. The whole time they was leading you on the right path, but you was mad at that person because God sent them to take you away from the negative. You blamed them until you got what you want. Now you let that person, you said that they said that they didn't want you no more. Then guess what? They found somebody who's requesting or requiring is going to end up asking the same thing out of them. And this is almost like those poly relationships too. You know how they always say, at first in the beginning, they all act like they cool. Oh yeah, we all love each other and all this. The whole time the masculine is only choosing multiple women because he feels like he likes a piece of each of them, right? Okay, cool. But in due time, do they always start to beef? Where one's going to want more attention. Now their feelings are going to start changing. Now they're no longer going to like that dynamic. They're going to want their own individual attention. They're going to want their own time with them. And now they beefing. Right? So people get what they want and then they realize they don't want the shit. They end up getting the shit that they thought that they wanted and realizing that it was not good for them. You understand me? So there's some people that you had to let go. You say you want to be out there a hoe, go be a hoe then. But you won't be a hoe with me. Okay, you say you want to go ahead and you don't want to have a commitment. You don't want to get married and that female seems like she's with it. Okay, cool. But in due time, she going to ask for the same things that you were asking too. And guess what they going to have to do? If they do it for that person, they still gonna get karma because that person is not the person they supposed to be with. God is telling them that, don't you see that looks can be deceiving? Don't you see that when I asked you to do it for that person, you refused to, but you gonna do it for somebody else? Oh, when you got an opportunity to do right by this person and time again that position gets presented and you choose to dismiss it, karma comes in. And guess what's going to happen? They're going to be forced to see somebody else step up and play that position. They're going to have to be forced to see all your dreams come into fruition. They're going to have to be forced to see some of them chosen ones, they don't believe in you. Because they can't see what God showed you. See, if they not equipped to, they not supposed to. You either going to join the movement before it's moving or your ass going to get left. And again, some of these motherfuckers don't even realize that you was the last ride left. So without you, they going to be, yeah, they'll be freaking, they'll be creeping, they be cheating. They be doing them, but they going to be 50, 60, 70, 80. They ain't going to have no purpose in a sense. They ain't going to have nothing. See, you are you symbolize, as far as faith. Follow through. God said, I'm about to make it. God said, I'm about to, certain things is fated. You either going to believe me or you not. But when I get there, don't you think that you about to come and act like you've been supporting me the whole time. Fuck no, you sitting that out. Okay, that's like the people who said, was laughing at the person passing out their mixtapes in a sense. Oh, nah, you ain't want to help me pass out the mixtapes. Oh, nah, you ain't want to help me, or promote my music on your page. Oh, now you didn't want to comment or like or watch or none of that shit. But all of a sudden that opportunity gets presented and now you made it and now they think that they made it too. Now all of a sudden they got their arms around, want to be dancing all up in the video and shit with you. Absolutely not. You better stand on that shit. See, faith is when you believe and you follow through before it physically gets presented. You understand me? So there's some of y'all where, oh, you ain't going to see it until I'm believing until you see it. Well, by the time you see it, baby, it's too late. You're going to see that shit from a distance. You ain't going to be able to enjoy that end. You understand? So with that being said, don't allow nobody to tarnish your dreams, distract you, put you down, because guess what? You're the one that's going to make it. You're the one that is fated. There's certain things that would have blessed them. You would have been their ride. So they work all the time. They complaining on you because you invested in your business. Oh, they complaining on you because you ain't got all this money at that time to be spending. You was invested in certain things that you needed to do, but whole time that brings longevity for them, because soon as you make it, they don't realize that you was going to bless them, that they wasn't going to have to work again, that you was going to buy and purchase certain cars and clothes and all this shit just because they were supportive, just because loyalty goes a long way. I'm trying to tell you. See, don't disrespect me on behalf of somebody who's temporary, because at that time period, you feel like that's your way out, and the whole time, that's your way to your demise. See, you better know what side you on. They got on the wrong bus. They wasn't paying attention. Now that person then sat there and guided them and drove them farther and farther from the direction that they were supposed to be in. See, chosen ones, we not going to hold up the line. We not going to stand outside wasting our gas for certain individuals that knew that certain things was coming. God gave them signs and synchronicities. God gave them signs that they were supposed to get it together. God gave them an opportunity. They prayed and it got presented. They was praying for this the whole time. They ain't realize. So this is some people that say they prayed. Well, since I'm pregnant, I'm going to keep bringing this up real quick. So this is almost like somebody praying to be pregnant. Oh, you are praying to be, or praying for that person to be pregnant. The whole time, the person that you're praying to be pregnant is your karmic. As far as a karmic, somebody who was a siren. Now you mad because the person that you wasn't your first choice end up pregnant, right? And now you feel like it's the end of the world the whole time. You ain't even realize that they saved you, right? There's some of you. So when I say this is, now let me just say this. This is almost like that game where it's hot and cold, right? Where it's like you're getting warmer, you're getting warmer, you're getting colder, you're getting colder, right? Now I say, oh, thank you and happy Earth Day, babies. We're sending so much love to you. So happy Earth Day. Enjoy yourself. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Enjoy yourself. You understand? So we celebrating you and make sure that you celebrating too, okay? Now, with me saying this, there's some of you chosen ones where you feeling certain energy, or they could have been feeling certain, but it's the direction that you hit it in. So you feeling as far as, oh, I'm about to be loved. I'm about to be married. I'm about to be pregnant. But the direction that you looking was the wrong direction. You thought that new person was going to be the person. The whole time you was filling out that energy from somebody else that you've already been with. You didn't realize at that time that that was your divine person. Why? Because you wasn't where you needed to be. They wasn't where they needed to be. So you didn't even realize that both of you had the tools that you needed in order to succeed. So you set that person out like, man, I know so-and-so since they was younger. Yeah, they can play ball, but I don't see them as no damn NBA star. Whole time, you ain't know. Because they already had the tools that they needed. All they needed to do was sharpen them up. And now they did. And now certain things are completed. Now you didn't doubted them because you knew them, not realizing certain tools that they had within them, certain abilities that they had within them. And sometimes it's because they don't show that shit. So just like, again, I can say on behalf of myself, I've always been as far as a prophetess. I've always relayed certain messages since I was younger. Tell people about spirits that was around, things that I wasn't supposed to even know because it happened way before I was born. I told them about as far as relayed certain messages. At that time, they called me crazy. At that time, their asses was scared. At that time, it seemed a little weird, right? There's certain people that knew me when I was younger and didn't know that I had the ability that I had because they didn't see it as a gift. They just shrugged that shit off in a sense. Now, all of a sudden, when other people are recognizing, now the things that I said are coming into fruition. Now they starting to see certain things. Now they looking like, damn. Okay, you might have knew a little something. There's certain people that because it was coming from you, they didn't believe you because of, excuse me, because how they perceived you. And now guess what? You got 1 million people that are acknowledging you and loving you for the gift that you have. There's certain people that, again, they don't believe that God gave or left a bunch of his gold in a person like you in the place that you was. So they don't realize that God will put his golden child in the middle of certain fucked up houses, in the middle of a fucked up community, in the middle of circumstances. They don't realize that God will hide certain prizes just so that the enemy can't find them. Do you think that God is going to have his gold in a place that other people are going to go? Absolutely not. Do you think that God is going to have his information, which is you, because you're a walking library? There's certain things that you know that other people don't know. There's certain things that you know that you ain't even have to read about. There's certain things that you get shown in your dreams that other people don't even dream about. There's certain things that get presented and you are just somebody who knows. You understand me? But let somebody else say the same shit that you said. Now, they willing to pay that person, but because it came from you, they ain't going to invest in you in a sense. Oh, because you could be a good mechanic, fix cars and all of that. But because it's you, they'll pay somebody else. They'll pay Ford. They'll pay Chevy. They'll pay all these other places big money instead of giving you a small portion or acknowledgement or an opportunity. And you're somebody who has that talent. See, some of y'all chosen ones, you are that mechanic in the hood that if you wanted to, if you believed in you, if you had certain people really vouching you, you would be bigger than these big ass companies. There's certain singers that can out-sing certain people that are on front of the stage. There's certain people that you can outdress even the top designers. You know how to make certain things. There's some of you that can do hair better than these motherfucking salon or these stylists that people are paying $1 million for when your ass only charges 40 and people still don't want to invest in you because it's you. See, that don't take away from your talent. That don't take away from the fact that you got a gift. You better know your worth and you better put a bigger price on that shit. You better know that in due time that opportunity is going to get presented, and when God puts that spotlight on you, them people about to be sick. You understand me? When God told you that you got the tools that you need within you, that all you had to do was wait for the opportunity and know when to use it. So this is almost like this path and taught you, gave you the screwdriver. This experience then gave you the hammer. This experience and gave you the bolts. And that's equivalent to this experience taught you to use your discernment. This gift, as far as experience, taught you that you gotta give. This experience taught you to use as far as your heart. This one taught you how to be cold-hearted. See, you gotta know when to apply those tools. The same way when you about to screw in a screw and you looking like, oh, is that a flathead or is that a star? See, you gotta know which one to use in a sense, right? At that time. See, chosen ones, when I say you been had the tools since you was in your youth, but you had to prepare. You had to learn how to use it in a sense. And I'm telling you, y'all about to be great. You understand me? See, it's already destined. So when I tell you, you about to have that house, you didn't started off with that person on that blow-up air mattress. You didn't sat there and started off with no pants to your name, laying on a pallet. You didn't sat there and started off sleeping in your car, not having no car at all. You didn't started off with this, but guess what? You didn't sat there and built yourself up in a sense. So when I tell you that you about to have that house in that mansion, and it's going to make you feel good because you embraced all the experience. Think about when you first had your house. And again, you ain't have no couch. You ain't have no pillow or blanket to sleep in. You only had a few pens that you can work with. You ain't have none of that shit. But you know that, guess what? If you really thought about it, there was a time where you ain't have nothing at all. You ain't have a roof over your head. You was staying in somebody else's shit getting put out because they was in their feelings. You was sitting there going house to house, couch to couch, didn't have nowhere to go. But now you got your place. And you sitting there feeling bad about it because you don't got nothing in that shit. When next year, you're going to have a fully equipped house, new couches, new TVs, all these pens and all of this shit. And you're going to sit there and be happy thinking about, yo, remember when we started? Remember we used to sleep on the air mattresses? Remember we used to walk all those miles to get to this job? Remember when our shoes had holes in that shit? Remember when the track was slick like this and we had to buy $20 bundles in order to fix that shit? Remember when we ain't have enough money to get our nails done, but we had them press-ons though? Remember when we ain't have this and we made that happen? Remember when you ain't have your food truck, but you was selling plates from your house? Remember before that business? Now, I'm telling you, I done seen things that come into fruition. I told you, I always pay attention to people because I see the future. I see, baby, you about to be solid. When I tell you, I'm here to encourage you, to let you know not to give up on you. I done seen my homeboy, my son's godfather. I done seen him start off working at Waffle House. Cooking this. Now he owns his own business in New York. Business is booming. You understand me? About to open up his other locations. You understand me? I didn't start it off. When I started off as far as my prophetess, my work, my readings, my coaching sessions. When I tell you, I started off accepting $15 for hour sessions and accepting this. And now in due time, God didn't sit there and put me in position where other things got presented. And guess what? You got to know what's for you. Yes, I didn't have, believe it or not, $1 million deals get presented, but I ain't like the energy that came with them. I'm sticking to my originality. I ain't going to let no devil persuade me to give them God's gold and they think because they about to pay me, nah, I'm about to get this. So guess what? My path took longer than other people thought. Had they got that opportunity where they would have had that money presented, they would have took it right away. But I know what came with that. I ain't selling out. I ain't selling my soul for no fucking fake ass gold when I know I have the ability to get the things that I need, and I'm really here to help people and I want to see people succeed. Why would I give the devil certain gifts that they wouldn't have been able to get? You understand me? So absolutely not. It's going to take, when I tell you that certain celebrities that used to steal my shit, first they try to work with me, and when I didn't want to work with them, they sat there and then took my shit, recorded it, and claimed it as theirs and was making money off of it. There's certain people that was watching my videos every day, and he sat there and was making millions of dollars by saying the same thing, word by word, line by line, but the shit didn't hit the same because that was not his, it was mine. God relayed certain things to me that no matter if he repeated, that shit ain't gonna hit the same. Yeah, people was paying, but they was paying for some other things. They ain't realized what came. Do you understand? But do you understand me that it didn't stop me? Because God was like, nah, they about to see. And those same celebrities who try to stop me from being successful because I didn't want to join them, I told them, hey, Bobby, watch this. I'm about to be in the same room as you. And I ain't got to do what you did in order to get to where you going to. And when I get there, I'm solid. You understand me? When I sit there, you going to be bothered because you going to know that I ain't have to do what you did to get the shit that you got. And I'm still going to be light years ahead. You understand me? So when I say you better know your worth, you better know your worth. When I tell you nobody going to stop you from getting what's destined for you, it may take some time, but you building that legacy. You building it correct. You not going to sit there and sell out. You going to create another path. They told me I got to go this way. Oh, nah, I'm about to create a new path there. You say I got to be destructive, lie, change who I am, be unauthentically me just so I can get ahead? Hell nah. You don't know who my father is. You understand me? You must not know. My father don't play like that. You understand me? When I say my father, I mean my real father. I mean God. I mean also my father that God spiritually had me aligned with. See, I'm Tiger's child. You must not know about me. You understand me? That, yeah, you see me by myself, but I'm never by myself. That as soon as I call to God, I'm telling you, I ain't got to do what y'all did. I ain't got to do no mad. You know how many motherfuckers try to spiritually attack me because of who I was helping, because I was telling on their ass and making sure that that shit don't stop me. I beat bullies the fuck up. I'm not befriending you. I'm not about to be scared of you. I'm not going to allow you. Bitch, I beat bullies the fuck up. I'm talking about demons. I'm talking about hands, shoulders, knees, and toes. I'm talking about, you hear me? You better, You better, come on now. They out here. Look at the motherfuckers who was out here scared of the demons, befriending the demons, think they got a head, out here bopping off Diddy, taking that to get that. And now look at their asses, all looking scared. They weird. You had to do that shit, had to lose your morals in order to get ahead. When we ain't got to do that shit, we stand solid and we call judgment on them. See, I'm trying to tell you, everything gonna come out in due time. We ain't got to do what they did. See, they was out here playing with wands. We ain't got to do that. The magic's inside us, motherfucker. We ain't got to play in magic. God made us magical. You hear me? So when I tell you all the enemies that try to come up, oh, y'all try to conjure together, you try to call yourself stopping certain stuff, and you mad because my light is still shining. They try to speak shit, thinking that they was going to blow out your flame. Whole time they ain't realized the words that they were saying was just adding to that shit, fuel to the fire in a sense, and now your flame then blew up, and now they asses is getting dismissed. Now man, I'm trying to tell you, you better. I ain't got to do that. God is the one. God is the match. See, our words is magical. See, had they knew better, they do better. See, we give them more than 3 wishes. If they rub us the right way, I'm trying to tell you, as far as the genie, baby, we going to give all your wishes that you come true. You rub me the right way. You understand me? But if you don't, see, this is what they don't realize. Think about Aladdin. Aladdin was a savage, right? Aladdin ain't have shit. Aladdin seemed like he was a bum. Aladdin seemed like he wasn't lavish. But Aladdin was the only person that could get into that cave at that day that they soul aligned, that they was able to get inside, get to all that gold, and get the things that they want. See, I'm trying to tell you, some of you got that spirit of Aladdin. where you about to align with your Jasmine. It don't matter if you are feminine or masculine. It's that energy that I'm talking about, where your soul is what's going to get you into certain places. These people can act like they are divine feminine, act like they are divine masculine. They can act like they these things, but that shit is within you. God is going to almost send that little, that little check to see if you got anything, that metal detector in a sense, see if you got some shit on you. See, that's almost equivalent to when you walk through the airport and they going damn near look through your body and see what you got inside you. See, that's what God does. Certain positions that get presented, oh, nah, you don't get to move ahead. Oh, now you think that you winning, you think that you successing, but the whole time you lead into your failure in a sense. See, when I tell you certain things, chosen ones, that we don't got to do that. We got the wealth within us. So they talking about, this is equivalent to, again, we ain't got the money on us. It's on that card. We are the walking visa. We the walking gold card. You hear me? So we good at any hood. And you understand? We the ones who, again, we the trumpets that they was talking about. See, when they hear us talk, they know that God's about to enter. You understand me? So with that being said, you be authentically you. People mad because you are who you are and God still blesses you. God still selected you. You may not have had shit. You may not have came from anything. But guess what? You are the key. And that's why they mad. They mad because, yeah, you cuss. You know how many people used to get mad, like, how you cussing, you talk about God, and da-da-da-da. And I had to tell, shut the fuck up. How about that one? If I'm cussing while I'm talking, hey, love, while I'm positively talking about God, don't you think I'll cuss you the fuck out too? Don't you know that Noah was building shit way before God came through and said, I need you to do this? You understand me? And some of these motherfuckers in the church too. We gonna talk about it. You acting all so holier than that. When some of y'all some holy hoes. Granny out here acting like she ain't got 12 kids by 12 motherfucking baby daddies, but she wanna talk about you. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, Murray. Cause we about to start talking. She talking about your weight. But you done sat there and carry the weight of your family. She talking about your appearance. You better take a picture of the back of her. You hear me? See, Noah knew how to build. He may not have been who he needed to be. He didn't know the position he was going to be in, but he was doing what he was doing, and that's why God selected him. Like, man, I like what you doing over here. You nice. Yeah, I got a little something for you. See, when I tell people, shut the fuck up when they get mad about me cussing. I'm a translator, motherfucker. That's what I am. I'm a translator. You know how there's somebody who's bilingual and this person can't understand this person because this person speaks Spanish and now I know a little something so I can sit there and relate to them. That's what I do. God has me talk how I talk so that other people can understand that too. Now again, I don't cuss when it come to God. When I'm talking to God, if I slip up and be like, man, God, these motherfuckers again. Oh, I apologize because I know who I'm talking to. But do you think God sits there and issues all this karma on me because of how I talk, because he knows what's on my heart? He like, nah, I know you upset right now. I know you say this right now. We translators. We the walking translator. God says something. We relay it. That's what it is. God been showing you signs. You ain't know what the signs was. God been telling you at certain things. You ain't know what he was saying. So I'm relaying it. You understand me? So you have to be you. And they mad because God still selected you and you are who you are. But that's why he chose you, because you stay authentically you and you're not out here trying to kiss ass. You're not out here trying to change you to get approval or to get ahead. You're not out here bending and breaking. Yes, you are aligning. Yes, you're doing better. Just like I said. Yes, I cuss. But at the same time, I know certain things I can work on in a sense. I know, but you're not going to tell me shit. You're not about to tell. You understand? So with that being said, you better be authentically you, and they going to still be mad that God selected you, and that's the reason why they'll never be selected. God, why you chose her? Why you chose him? God, why you did this? Because he did, and he going to do it again, and that's why next lifetime you going to come back as a fucking ant. That's why next lifetime you going to come back as a pig and shit. That's why next lifetime you want to be a dog-ass person this lifetime, and that's why you going to come back as a pit bull next lifetime. Shut your ass. Have you ever seen animals who look like people? Why the fuck you think? Don't you know what's called when they talk about evolution? Don't you know that some people, chosen ones, based upon how they were, that's karma that comes for you? Have you ever looked at a puppy and like, yo, he got human eyes? That's why I don't fuck with cats like that. Because I know for a fact that some people did certain magic and put shit in shit. But I also know some of these motherfuckers is humans that are bound to that shit too. Talking and shit. I don't want no fucking talking ass husky. No. I don't like no damn animals. I'm gonna be honest. I've been trying to get a puppy. The only cat that I ever had, and I'm scared of the shit, was my little black kitten named Akon that I loved. But that was because the energy. That was it. That motherfucker was like a reflection of me. That was it. As far as other animals, because that's spirit. So which means this. When people are spiritually attacking you, make sure that you praying over certain animals too, because of that shit. Now, I'm a turtle lover. Baby, turtles. I like fish. I like birds. As far as puppies, fuck no. As far as cats, I had to face my fear. I got a kitten when my oldest was young. I ain't had one ever since then, and I don't plan to have none. But my spiritual animal, birds, turtles. That's it. As far as fish too, depending on the type that they is. But as far as other shit, absolutely not. Some of these animals are your ops. Some of these motherfuckers, you don't like cats because your ass was a mouse in your last lifetime. Whatever the case may be. But all I know is chosen ones. You love dolphins. Listen, they spiritual beings. But to a certain extent now, depending on the fucking breed. Because some of them fucking dolphins, they don't like that I laugh when I say some of them are violators. I'm going to say. So it depends on the breed. Just like the birds. I like certain birds. My favorite bird is the red-winged blackbird. That's my favorite bird of all time. I love hawks as well. But I don't fuck with crows, right? So it's like the breed of bird or the breed of the damn dolphin or whatever the case may be. That's what it is, right? But the red-winged blackbird, that's my favorite bird. But, as you know, enough about that. But I'll say this. Pay attention. Turtles. I love turtles. Why? Because in my past life, I know for a fact I was a turtle. The turtles are something that's always been around. Intelligent. Shit, I always laugh and say I was a turtle off of fucking Nemo. You understand? He all chill and laid back and all that. That's how I am, right? Until I don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Until I gotta be on some other shit. But, no. Pay attention. You understand? There's some of you chosen ones where you outside I love monarch butterflies. Those are my favorite. Monarch butterflies. There's millions and billions of different butterflies, but that one is my spiritual animal since I was little. There's some of you dragonflies. There's some of you blue jays. There's some of you red robins. There's some of you hummingbirds. There's some of you trees, the type of trees. There's some, you gotta know, chosen ones. You understand me? So again, things is bigger than what they appear. Keep your energy all the way up to here. Know that you got this. You understand me? Know that everything's aligned. Know that everything is divinely aligned. You be you, because what you are naturally drawn to says a lot about you. Oh, Cardinals, they spiritual. Listen, that's how I know I'm talking to the divine crew, because all the animals and even birds and mammals and all that y'all are saying, they literally are spiritual signs, walking confirmations. You walk outside and wonder why your ass looking like Snow White. You mad and like, what the fuck? Squirrels keep running up to you and shit. It's that energy, mama. It's that energy, Papa. You got that. You understand me? Know that. So be your Snow White. You understand me? Embrace you, the energy you supposed to be. Other people may not understand it at the time, but all of a sudden, that's the same shit they try to stop you from being is who they try to become. Oh, so-and-so so loud. So-and-so just want to dance and act like this because they wanted to act serious. Now, all of a sudden, they try to step out their element and try to duplicate you. That's why I say, baby, it's not no competition, because even the people who try to compete with you, you competing with a lesser version of you because they try to be you. So do you. You understand me? All the shit that they done talk. Oh, so-and-so, she wear this. Oh, so-and-so, he wear that. Now they trying to do this shit. Huh? Because we light years ahead. We trendsetters out here. We done been that, done that. And no matter how ahead they look of you, you already light years and overlap these individuals. So they feeling like they ahead the whole time. You already passed where they been 12, 13 times before they even got there. You hear me? So chosen ones, don't get caught up in the hype. I love you so much. Y'all continue to be great. Also, if you book your coaching session, I still got the bundle deal where it's 4 30-minute coaching sessions for $100. All right. So that's a $200 deal. That's $100. I'm going to leave that up there. But also I'll say this. If you book your reading or your coaching sessions, reach out to me. Now, I did say I was going to chill on knocking them out earlier. Only because I had to adjust, baby, because I'm telling you, this pregnancy, all I've been wanting to do is sleep, cry on commercials, as far as reunions, eat mozzarella sticks so far. That's the craving shows on, I ain't gonna lie. And for some reason, I love Mexican food and wasabi. I'm trying to tell you. That's it. I just want my ices like my snowballs. I was craving mozzarella sticks, but I think I'm mozzarella'd out. So now I just like eating the vegetable wasabi, you know what I'm saying? Vegetable fried rice and my vegetable fajitas. That's it. I've been fucking it up. But yeah. Oh, thank you. But I love y'all so much, okay? So if you do book your sessions, message me and I'll definitely be able to get you in earlier than expected because I believe I'm booked for the rest of this month. For the month's almost over anyway. So I got you, okay? But I love you. Thank you. Y'all continue to be great. If you need me, you know how to reach me, okay? Be great.